Welcome to Crimson Dominion. I am Kitten, the Dungeon Master, and I'll be hosting you through the story of our group as they go through Curse of Strahd. Under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft. The vampire, Count Strahd von Zarovich, stares down a sheer cliff at the village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves about him, billowing his cape in the darkness. Lightning splits the clouds overhead, casting stark white light across him. Strahd turns to the sky, revealing the angular muscles of his face and hands. He has a look of power and of madness. His once handsome face is contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. Far below, yet not beyond his ken, a party of adventurers has just entered his domain. Strahd's face forms a twisted smile as his dark plan unfolds. He knew they were coming, and he knows why they have come, all according to his plan. He, the Master of Ravenloft, will attend to them. Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle's towers. The Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf, fills the midnight air. The Master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner, and you are invited. Welcome to Crimson Dominion. I am Kitten, the Dungeon Master, and I'll be hosting you through the story of our group as they go through Curse of Strahd. Under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft. The vampire, Count Strahd von Zarovich, stares down a sheer cliff at the village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves about him, billowing his cape in the darkness. Lightning splits the clouds overhead, casting stark white light across him. Strahd turns to the sky, revealing the angular muscles of his face and hands. He has a look of power and of madness. His once handsome face is contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. Far below, yet not beyond his ken, a party of adventurers has just entered his domain. Strahd's face forms a twisted smile as his dark plan unfolds. He knew they were coming, and he knows why they have come, all according to his plan. He, the master of Ravenloft, will attend to them. Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle's towers. The Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf, fills the midnight air. The master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner, and you are invited. Welcome to Crimson Dominion. I am Kitten, the Dungeon Master, and I'll be hosting you through the story of our group as they go through Curse of Strahd. Under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft. The vampire, Count Strahd von Zarovich, stares down a sheer cliff at the village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves about him, billowing his cape in the darkness. Lightning splits the clouds overhead, casting stark white light across him. Strahd turns to the sky, revealing the angular muscles of his face and hands. He has a look of power and of madness. His once handsome face is contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. Far below, yet not beyond his ken, a party of adventurers has just entered his domain. Strahd's face forms a twisted smile as his dark plan unfolds. He knew they were coming, and he knows why they have come, all according to his plan. He, the master of Ravenloft, will attend to them. Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle's towers. The Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf, fills the midnight air. The master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner, and you are invited. Welcome to Crimson Dominion. I am Kitten, the Dungeon Master, and I'll be hosting you through the story of our group as they go through Curse of Strahd. Under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft. The vampire, Count Strahd von Zarovich, stares down a sheer cliff at the village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves about him, billowing his cape in the darkness. Lightning splits the clouds overhead, casting stark white light across him. Strahd turns to the sky, revealing the angular muscles of his face and hands. He has a look of power and of madness. His once handsome face is contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. Far below, yet not beyond his ken, a party of adventurers has just entered his domain. Strahd's face forms a twisted smile as his dark plan unfolds. He knew they were coming, and he knows why they have come, all according to his plan. He, the master of Ravenloft, will attend to them. Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle's towers. The Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf, fills the midnight air. The master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner, and you are invited. Welcome to Crimson Dominion. I am Kitten, the Dungeon Master, and I'll be hosting you through the story of our group as they go through Curse of Strahd. Under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft. The vampire, Count Strahd von Zarovich, stares down a sheer cliff at the village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves about him, billowing his cape in the darkness. Lightning splits the clouds overhead, casting stark white light across him. Strahd turns to the sky, revealing the angular muscles of his face and hands. He has a look of power and of madness. His once handsome face is contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. Far below, yet not beyond his ken, a party of adventurers has just entered his domain. Strahd's face forms a twisted smile as his dark plan unfolds. He knew they were coming, and he knows why they have come, all according to his plan. he, the master of Ravenloft, will attend to them. Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle's towers. The Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf, fills the midnight air. The master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner, and you are invited. Welcome to the Meeple Palace. We hope you're going to enjoy the video we have that will be coming to you very soon. All announcements and schedule updates will be done during the end credits of the video. So please stay tuned just so that you can keep up with what we are doing. Thank you. Hello everyone. Hi.
Hi.
Everyone is still shy. So welcome to the Meeple Palace. I am Kitten. I am going to be the DM. Welcome to Crimson Dominion, where we will be playing Curse of Strahd 5e, and this is our 3rd episode. Now, there have been a couple of changes. We have some... Hey! We have a couple of changes in the roster. So we don't have Cobble Addicts, we do not have Glazed Donut, and we do not have Dreadstar now. We still do have Kai, we have Val, we have got Noble Gremlin, fantastically able to join, which is great. We have Mia, we have got Zanny, and we have our lovely new player, Levi. I said it correctly.
You said it right.
I did. That'll be the first time and last time. So yeah, so those are the names you'll be seeing. You can see who is talking because most of us are not using webcams, or none of us are using webcams. So what I like to do is, before we start, has anyone made any changes? Because I have allowed at this time for you to make some minor changes to your character, such as class, backstory and background. Those are only 3. So has anyone made any changes since the last episode?
Classic minor change.
I didn't know we were allowed to do minor changes. I missed the memo. I'd missed the memo, everyone.
You got resurrected.
I'm a basic cat now.
I made a complete another 180. My character, because we lost our cleric, unfortunately, and so my guy, basically all the armor he was wearing fell away to reveal that he was actually a cleric. Underneath all that, he was just disguised as an artificer, so people wouldn't realise what he actually was.
He's like Superman.
You thought it was Iron Man. You thought it was Iron Man, but really it's Thor.
Yeah, exactly. So so Garadrin is he was an artificer in the first game. To be honest, I wasn't actually quite enjoying it very much because he doesn't quite fit with the aesthetic of Strahd. So I'm doing.
I don't know. He was very sassy. He matched Winter.
That's true. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's still the lovable gruff Scotsman, dwarf, traditional Scottish dwarf that you all know and love. But now he commands the powers of the grave. He is a grave cleric, and so he's basically. If you need healing, I'm still level 1. Can't do an awful lot, but I can stop you from dying, which is one thing I can do.
That's the important thing, man. Keep us from dying.
And as a grave cleric, I can stop you from dying when you're across the room. So that's what.
The main thing is.
Good to know. I'm running in head first.
Yeah.
Really
as a bonus action. So I can literally go. You don't die, and hit something with a hammer. That's basically the way it's going to go.
Okay, so let me just do a small recap of what's going on, and then we'll be moving on to the new, back to where you currently are. So, since this episode, before this episode, you have been travelling
and you'd managed to collect on your travels a mysterious note, which you are free to share. Some of you did share in the previous episode. I believe Kai was definitely one. And I think, using character names now, Garrett did so, as well as I think Winter shared hers, and I think maybe even Val.
Actually, Winter did not share hers.
My apologies. Okay.
No, it's fine.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of the letter from Strahd. That was shared.
The letter from Strahd was shared, and then I believe Bastion showed up and mentioned he had a letter, and that's what prompted Garrett to show his letter.
Yes.
But I think that's the only person who showed the letter.
Okay, so that's happened. As you were traveling through Barovia, your group and Skandrick had split up. You woke up and Skandrick was not there. You don't know where he went. You were captured basically by this fog, this malevolent fog that transported you to a town, specifically outside a row house, quite in poor repair. You noticed two children out the front who beckoned you to come in and was like, "There's a monster! Oh my god, there's a monster in the basement! Our parents! It has to be destroyed! The fog has to be destroyed!" One of you, I believe it was Petrovich, that went straight up to the children, was like, "I'm going to help you." And then everyone was like, "Oh, for God's sake, okay, we'll go in."
I mean, I was for it, because I'm a monster slayer. That's
and you're a monster slayer, definitely. So you were definitely there. But I think the children, the heartstrings, definitely Petrovich got pulled, I think.
Well, where Daddy goes, we follow.
You got into the house. You had managed to discover the ground floor. Very old, but in good nick as it comes to cleanliness, which I think Winter was quite happy with. Same with the second level. However, once you got to the third level, it was filthy, and poor Winter's beautiful white coat was getting very cobwebby and dirty. You'd also come across a suit of armor that came to life. After spending another 10 minutes on a different suit of armor on a different floor, checking if it was a monster.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interject here as someone who's played with the DM as a player. I remember a certain someone who walked over and reactivated magic armor again because he just wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah, pretty much. What happens? Will it happen again? Yeah, that was definitely me. After that, you managed to get to the attic thanks to the brilliance of Winter and Petrovich, where they had found a way to get on top of the roof, then get down to a balcony. You had managed to, the others had managed to group up with you on the third level. You were basically speaking to each other from being over the balcony down to those on the third level balcony, and you'd managed to get them up. You also managed to get into the room because there was actually no actual entrance from that attic balcony inside that particular part. So you basically broke the window and made it bigger and scooched in. And as you'd done so, you'd also managed to find a secret staircase that took you down to the dungeons. Down in the dungeons is where you'd come across 4 ghouls, as well as also coming across a Grick. Unfortunately, Winter died, and Petrovich...
What a blunt way to put it.
Yeah, Winter died. And everyone, and a fair few were actually on death saving throws. Petrovich had prayed to his god, the Raven Queen, and I rolled to see whether she would listen, and she had. And so Winter was brought back, and then Petrovich died.
Colder than ice.
Yeah, colder than ice. You'd noticed that the rose had disappeared as well from Winter, and when Winter came back, and then later on when Petrovich died, the rose, the fresh black rose that Winter had got from her beautiful singing and playing of the Addams Family on the harpsichord, The rose had appeared on Petrovich's body as Winter was crying over him, and then the rose had wilted, and as it wilted, Petrovich's body became cold. I rolled the dice. I'm fair. If it had gone badly, he would have died, but he did come back as well. But at the moment, Petrovich can't work out what was taken. So, afterwards, you were all battered and bruised. You had decided to take a long rest on the second floor, and that is where we are going to start. So I'm going to move you all to the map now. Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay. I'm gonna navigate myself on the map.
It's black.
Yeah. So,
But find myself on the map.
yeah, I'm going to make sure I can do that too. Let me see.
Where's the scroll button?
I had it set up. No. Come on. Where are you all? Hang on a sec. I may know why. Let me see.
Do we not have the ability to see? Because if you haven't given our tokens the ability to see light.
I gave you all the ability to see light. You're on the second floor, there's light thingies. Let me double check.
I thought we were going to get rid of the
dynamic lighting is gone.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, I think we're back now. Yep, I can see
There
it.
we go.
I can see
That's
us.
much better.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfection.
So,
that was beautiful.
Yeah, so on the second floor, you guys are RPing, you guys are there. You can choose what room you were in when you were resting. Alright. And I will bring in Skandrick and Dr. Von Mar in a moment. So on the long rest, I need to discuss with you how you did your long rest. So one moment, I need to open that up again.
Surviving.
Surviving. Okay, so resting in this.
Damn owl, I would have been dead by now. Where's he gone?
Actually, no. Before we do the resting, we actually need to work out what your lingering injuries are.
Lingering injuries?
Question for the DM. Are we doing it directly, or are we taking a constitution save first and then applying it to see where we actually get one?
I've never heard of lingering injuries at all.
Lingering injuries is just a flavour. It's just more. It has more flavour than anything.
So like a scar or something.
It can be. It depends.
Arm,
It depends. It depends what you roll.
Oh.
But most times, most people are lucky enough just to get the lighter versions. But
unless your name's Pedrick.
Unless your name is Pedrick, bless his heart. He lost an eye.
Oh no!
So I need to open this up so I can actually open it properly because it doesn't like showing me what. Okay. So lingering injuries. Yeah, I'll say because of this, we will do a con save. So everyone that literally, well, yeah, it is everyone. Please make a con save.
That's interesting. I've never done these before.
Would you like me to as well?
No. So the only ones I do not want is Noble Gremlin and Levi. Not from you guys.
Cancel that.
But everyone else. So
Con
Garrett,
save,
Vulture,
Constitution,
Elegance. Yeah, so that's all of you. So let's see.
Yes!
720.
I'm stronger than before!
Wow. Okay. So Garadrin doesn't get an injury. He gains armor. No, I'm joking. So I will say
even more lustrous than ever before.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Other
that
my enemies.
Garrett and Elegance. Yeah, you do get something. I would like you both to roll a 1d20.
Okay. I'm so scared. I'm a pretty kitty.
Oh!
Oh no.
Whoa. Okay, so on that. Interesting. So, Winter, you're not going to like this at all, but unfortunately, Winter, you have a festering wound.
A what?
Festering wound. Your hit point maximum is now reduced by 1. Every 24 hours, the wound persists.
Shall that take place starting now?
Because
Does it go down by one now?
I forgot, I'll say yeah. It'll happen from today onwards until it's resolved. Okay. The wound heals if you receive magical healing. Alternatively,
I've got no magic left.
Alternatively, someone can tend to the wound and make a wisdom medicine check, and once every 24 hours. After 10 successes, then the wound heals. So
is this before or after the long rest? Just so
this is before the long rest.
Okay.
Okay.
So can I cast it now to get rid of it? Or after?
So if you have healing, if you have magical healing, you can. If you do not have magical healing, somebody else has to do magical healing on you or do a medicine check.
Okay, all right. I'll yeah, okay.
But yeah, so every 24 hours, your hit point maximum is reduced by 1. Okay, Garrett.
Da, da, da.
Please tell me.
Oh my god.
Which?
Oh my god. Which testicle are you gonna lose?
Which hand you want to lose?
Oh no. But why?
Okay.
He got edgier though.
Oh, I became useless.
No dual wielding anymore.
Actual useless.
How?
Okay, wait.
In fact, my
Here's a
fighting
question
style
for
is
the
useless.
here's a question for the DM.
A question for me, yeah.
Oh. Yes. Because we would still have his hand.
Yeah.
Instead of a full regeneration spell, would we be able to reattach it with a cure wound?
Okay, so this is how it can be fixed. You can no longer hold anything with 2 hands, and you can hold only a single object at a time. However, magic such as the regenerate spell can restore the lost appendage. So yes, you can
Regenerate's a level 7 spell.
No. The only question is because we still have doesn't have to grow back. Basically, what I'm saying is, I would hold his wrist and hold his hand together, and then just cast healing, on it. Try and reattach.
Do you know what? I'll say yeah. If it's within the 24 hours and you have the appendage still, then yeah, I'll allow that.
Great. Yeah, you can keep your.
I'll allow the cast and see if it's So yeah, okay. So that is the lingering injuries. Wow. Okay. So as a reminder, the lingering injuries. What's that? Cures 7 healing.
I mean, because this is kind of doing the long rest, so would I still get my spell slots afterwards?
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm also gonna do the cure wounds and then lay on hand.
Okay.
And add however many points up to 10. It'll take the bit.
All right. In that case, seeing as probably what you'll get, I'll probably say that it would be successful. But still do it anyway. But yeah, that would generally be okay once you do that as well. So as a reminder, lingering injuries for me as a DM, as well as for the players, is that when it takes a critical hit, you have to do lingering injuries. When you drop to 0 hit points but not killed outright, that is a lingering injury table. When you fail a death saving throw by 5 or more, that is a lingering injuries. Okay. So you have had critical hits, you have been also on death saves that went under 5, so that counts for pretty much everyone. Okay, so that's that done. Resting. So now you guys have been resting in the house. You went to the 2nd floor. Alright, I just need to double check how it is. Alright, while you've been sleeping, some of you have heard some creepy sounds. You've heard sounds of footsteps descending from the attic and stopping, outside of the door before suddenly moving away towards the study area. Okay, there's also been like a grinding noise coming from the study, but you can't quite work out what it is. Okay, so you are able to rest in this house. I would like to know who was on guard, because obviously you normally do a 6 to 8 hour long rest, and you normally split the time up amongst yourselves to do, you know, a check and, you know, make sure no one's coming in to murder you when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So what was the order?
Well, I mean, technically I was unconscious, which would have been for a few hours, so I couldn't have taken the first watch. I'm happy to take one of the later ones, but I couldn't
I know
have
that
just being unconscious.
I know Winter was awake during the first parts because she had to drag herself up to one of the rooms after dying. So I know she's awake. I don't know if anybody else wants to take the first watch though. So it makes no difference to me.
Yep. So yeah, you guys can discuss this.
I mean, I'll take the second watch. I mean, flavorfully, my guy was knocked out. He was completely out of it.
Winter will come through and say, "Oh, look at that, Garrett, you're missing a hand."
I'm selectively having Winter not talk to anybody because Garrett's not going to be awake.
Oh.
What's the smell coming from that gash on your arm?
She looks at the gas. She's like, "Oh, I have a this now." Great.
As you're looking, just Petrovich walks by. Boop, just pokes your arm and heals it.
Thank you for the
And then
follow.
keeps going to put Garrett's
Thank
hand
you.
on.
Did you give her 1 hit point? Just like, there you go.
Just enough to get rid of the fester now.
I love it.
So that would be 1, right? And I think that gets rid of it entirely, I think.
Bye-bye infection.
Yeah.
Basically,
I mean, we're gonna be in the rest, so we're gonna get all this back in.
Yeah. So Winter says, "You all go to sleep, I suppose, and I'll..." Oh, right, you're unconscious. You all go to sleep, and I'll go ahead and take...
Oh yeah, I was unconscious.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, what's
I'll forget that smart-ass remark.
First thing he wakes up, what's that smell?
Okay. Interesting. So what is the actual order then for your long
I'll take the
rest
first watch.
vigil?
Winter will take the first.
I'll take second watch.
And up to them how they choose next.
All right. So I would like each of you, in order, to roll a perception check or investigation. You can choose.
I'll take perception, and I'll go ahead and roll that. Cool.
Cool. My turn next then.
Oh.
I didn't notice anything.
My 2 hit points, and I will strum some music. That Adam's Family song once again.
Okay.
I'm feeling creepy vibes coming from that.
I don't know. I mean, it's some cultists.
Okay.
A girl just walks by here. She was very pale, and she was dragging like an iron maiden behind her.
So, okay, cool. So, Winter, when you were checking around while the others were sleeping, just keeping an eye on things, making sure no more ghosts or spectres were coming around, you recall that the servants' quarters were generally safe compared to the other rooms. So I would have said that you would have woken the others up quickly, get them in the servants' quarters section, and then allow them to get back to sleep and get back to them resting.
Yes, this is the servants' quarter, right?
Servants' quarters. Let me just double check on the second level. Yes, that's the servants' quarters, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd also say that you started to you heard something, but you can't work out where it came from. It was another grinding sound.
And grinding. Did I feel where it came from? If it's grinding, it must be against something. So
It was coming from. You can definitely say it was coming from the floor above, in the similar area as to. Actually, no, a little bit further south on the 3rd floor compared to where you guys are on the 2nd floor. You guys are sort of Oh no, wait, the map is rotated, so north is technically left. So you guys are east on the second floor, so it would be west on the third floor. It's where you generally heard the noise coming from.
Okay, and this is the third floor where, not the attic, this is the,
So the third floor sound that you were hearing was sort of coming around this area where I'll ping. You see?
No.
It's not on the same floor as you. You might need to just move the map a little
okay,
bit.
I see it.
Yeah. So it was coming from the west area of the third floor above you. So that's roughly where you heard the noise coming from.
Okay, Winter will, she sighs very deeply, very tired, very hurt, and she goes, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." She goes up the stairs to go see what's good.
But it did.
Oh, sorry.
It very much killed you.
Hey,
You died.
hey, no, shush, boo.
Our watch just left us.
You guys have a sleepover in this room? Is that chatting?
Yes.
Is there anyone? Is Garrett? Okay, Garrett's in the other room. Okay.
Garrett's
I'll
sleeping on the
say.
floor.
I'll give the door a little knock and say, and because they're boys, they want their privacy, surely. And Winter goes. She goes, ladies, and she peeks her head through. She goes to the closest one, who just happens to be Garrett, and she kicks him in the foot.
Garrett's gonna punch her right
What?
in the face.
Now,
With
hold
that
on.
handful of stump.
This is Valstamir. There might be consequences.
No, we are in a monster house with things trying to kill us. I've been knocked out by
I feel like this happened before to
treats
me.
them by kicking him.
Someone did this to me before already. I tapped him or something, and then they held a
You
knife.
kicked him!
Yes. This reminds me. This reminds me. Like, can I?
Fine, I don't want to hurt the fragile cat's feelings, so instead a sword will be pointed at her.
You can hear the dog, the scruffy mutt, growling as as Winter tries to kick Garrett.
Well, clearly, I unsuccessfully kicked you. So I'll say, "Wake your master, Mongol."
My sword's being pointed at you. You kicked me. I just didn't hit you.
Winter touches the tip of his sword and pushes it slightly down and says, "Good morning to you too. I hear noises upstairs."
He nods. He puts his sword back. Gets up. Dusts himself off. His hand feels a little weird because it was reattached. Looks at it. Moves the fingers around.
Oh, look, you have your hand back.
He reconsiders hitting her again, and then goes over to Petrovich. Taps him. Taps
No strenuous activity with the hand.
Garrett
Don't go
as
fight
well.
too much.
And
Technically, I have no HP at the moment, and because I'm still doing my long rest.
oh well, if you're still doing your long rest, then I'm in no position to do.
Yeah, because
either,
we have to have that
so
6 hours to have our.
No, I look at her and I'm gonna be like, "You're gonna have to take Petrovich and go up. I guess I'll try to keep watch over the dwarf while you're upstairs."
Cool.
It's
Winter's
like I'm not also extremely wounded.
Or maybe
We're
it's best
all
not
gonna
just
get
to
swords,
investigate
right?
until we're better and just hunker down and stay still.
okay.
And
Winter.
we don't get killed.
You
know, on that
notice,
note-
Winter, that the noise has stopped already since you went to alert the rest. But yeah, the noise, you can't hear it anymore.
Now, is it fair? Because Winter's trying to use her little brain. She's wondering if maybe her music may have caused some type of, because she was playing an instrument just now. So she goes back out and she says, So she picks up her instrument once again and begins to play along to the tune. 'Cause I think she's at this point maybe not mastered, but she knows well enough. And she wants to see if the noise will come back with her acute hearing.
Okay, so roll perception again.
Okay. Just Did it go through? Hopefully.
Yeah,
Cool.
a 6.
A non-natural 1/6. Yes.
So, with that, you don't hear anything.
Okay. So Winter will assume that it was nothing, maybe her imagination. She is very tired and hurt, and she will continue her watch.
Okay. And going on to Garadrin, you hear nothing. You see nothing. You are out of it.
Alright, I can't see nothing. I'm just sitting here.
I guess since I'm awake now, I should probably roll my own perception check.
Is that a tag out moment?
Yeah, so you'd be in bed now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you
she pats the little man's head and says, "Your turn." And then she goes in the room. And instead of getting on her own bed, she jumps on the bottom of Petrovich's like a cat, and she sleeps on the bottom of it.
I roll my eyes at this.
She goes, "Meow."
A nice little bit of purring comes through. So
I mutter under my breath. The next town I'm getting this feline fixed.
ooh, I think someone else is a sorcerer of milk. Very canny. Okay.
Wow.
So Garrett, okay, moving on to you.
Yeah.
You rolled an 18.
Does a long rest, alright, just because you seem very literal with the rules, does a long rest, is it more staying in one place, or is it literally sleep?
It's literally sleep. I mean, out of a long rest, you do 8 hours. However, those 2 hours can be for reading something. You normally minimum have to have a 6-hour absolute sleep, not being disturbed.
So, did we just get back up? Is that what I'm understanding, or have we been asleep for...
No, it's more flavour. Like, you were nudged awake when Winter sort of got you into the servants' quarters because you remembered it being safe.
I'm more asking, is my health back or not?
Oh, no. Long rest, you get full health back. Okay. You also, and I'll need to double check with Xander on this because it always confuses me, hit dice. You also get a certain amount of hit dice back.
You get your half your hit dice back.
Well, I got
correctly.
Cure Wound and then Lay on Hand, correct?
Spell slots get replenished as well.
Thank you.
Well, no,
for letting me know that.
your HP goes fully back up, no matter what.
Wait,
It's
I
just
leveled
the-
up, so didn't I just...
So you leveled up, and you also get your max hit dice. So you've got what, 2d8 now?
I got 2d10.
2d10. So now you've got 20 plus your con modifier.
I'm at full health because the Cure Wounds would have brought me up
Yeah,
to full health.
long rest you don't have to spend hit dice. It's short rest you spend hit
No, I'm
dice.
talking about
So-
replenishing hit dice. You've got
Oh
all
yeah,
your...
no, you get
yeah.
half.
So,
half.
yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm peak health right now,
Perfect.
especially with my hand reattached.
Except your hand's a bit
so,
wonky.
yeah, it feels a bit weird, but,
Yeah.
it still functions.
So,
So,
with Garrett, with your perception, you don't notice anything going around the house. You do get a niggling feeling because you know something is down below in that dungeon. You know it's not complete yet, so you still have this niggling, this need to I'm a monster hunter. I need to find this monster. It's getting a bit annoying. But that's other than that. That personal feeling you still have. Anything around the house hasn't warranted any curiosity as such in that area you're in.
Well, I'm just going to, I guess since I'm taking the watch, I got full HP, I rested for a little bit. So I don't... How long would I have rested since I woke up by winter? Like, hour-wise?
So you normally take, so you split up, there's 4 of you, 8 hours, so you'd only be on watch for that allotment. Other than that, you would have your 6 hours sleep.
Alright, so I won't take an exhaustion
No.
if I keep watch. So, mostly what Garrett does is, which side of the stairs leads down? I assume it's this side?
Yeah, that one.
So, yeah, he's just pacing back and forth because he's, monsters encountered in the cellar. He's gonna watch the cellar. For right now.
Okay, so Petrovich, your perception when you wake up to do your watch, you notice only that Garrett is around. And he's
Alright,
pacing.
if it's just Garrett, I think he trusts Garrett to be discreet. So he's actually gonna do his required ceremony.
Okay.
Because he has specific rituals he has to do once. Basically, he's gonna take out 5 of his candles and kind of light them in a little semicircle around him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he is going to take out a set of manacles and just lay them on the ground. And then he's going to take out a book of children's nursery and read just one of the stories that. Then, once it's read, he'll pack everything back.
Okay. Now, after this, after you've had your long rest, your hit points mechanically, it's all back, same as your spell slots. For those that have leveled up now, you remember that every time you level up, your max HP increases plus the con. All right. As you all wake up, you're still a bit stressed because of considering where you are. It is literally feels like a haunted house, and from the floor below, back on the ground floor, you hear a number of sounds. Right? That noise came from here.
Was that the DM making the sounds, or
Yes.
did someone drop something?
No, that was me making sound. Coming from this part of the ground floor. And then you also hear another sound, which sounds more like that. And that comes from the west. It's not rhythmic, no.
One of those, or whatever spirit and or monster is hunting us, they are either very clumsy or supreme butterfingers.
So, what are you guys going to do? Like I said, you hear a noise coming from this part, and you also hear a noise coming from this part.
Winter was.
Is this all downstairs?
Downstairs,
on
the ground floor.
We're on the 2nd floor? Or the 3rd?
No, this is coming. You're on the 2nd floor at the moment. This sound is coming from the ground floor.
Alright, well, I'm gonna look towards Petrovich, motion with my head. We are the frontline fighters in this group, so
Yep.
I'm gonna be, you got more armor than me. You go ahead. I'll support you from behind.
Zandam, unfortunately, you seem to have a bit of an echo. Do you have your headphones
That's because
on?
the cat has opened the door. That's what he's done. Let me give me a second.
Cat is doing echoing ambient right now. He's helping.
But do you also have headphones on?
Sorry about that.
Okay, you got headphones on. Okay. All right.
He sounds fine.
Hopefully that'll be okay now. All right. So.
Alright.
So just remind me. Sorry. What are you guys going to do?
Garrett kind of tells.
I can hear one.
Kind of tells Petrovich's plan. Yeah. He's gonna throw on. He's gonna switch to his shield. And just put his greatsword into his back and kind of move forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna, as Petrovich does that, I'm gonna just mention to him, until I can better equipped with some better armor, I would suggest keeping that shield out at all times and trying to keep the monster's attention, because honestly, after that display in the basement, we are very much lucky to be alive.
Garrett just like he's got a shield out now as well as like I'm listening to your advice.
Can
Shield.
Winter slink into a stealth behind Petrovich or whoever's in front of her? She's definitely not the first person.
You please stay behind.
Oh, most definitely. I know. I've learned my lesson.
I think we'll try and set the marching order for the moment up as Petrovich, Garrett, Cleric, Winter.
Sounds good.
Just
And you just type that in as well.
So I can just make sure. So I guess we'll just, I guess we can do it here. So Petrovich would be right here. I'd be right here. And then, I guess Garrett or Winter behind me.
I'd just like to let everybody know that I have a special connection with the dead. I can take the time, if I can take a moment, I can sense undead around us within a range of 60 feet.
I also have a special connection with the undead. It's called Undying Hatred.
I'm glad you hate the dead.
So you're going downstairs. Okay. So
Also defined. We are weirdly prepared to deal with undead.
so
The sword ain't silver for show.
as you go downstairs, there is still a bit of noise coming from this area, as well as coming from this area.
Well, I point to this area and say, that room, there's some crossbows that me and, where'd he go? Well, I found some crossbows in that room, and a deck of cards and whatnot. Nothing really important there, but I know the layout of that room, so perhaps we should check that one out first.
Sounds like a plan. Who's going through first?
I look towards Petrovich, the man in armor.
That would be me. And wait, which door?
I think the cat.
West.
This one.
Technically
Yeah,
south. Yeah. Okay.
Petrovich
What
is
about the
gonna, for
cat?
a brief moment, just
What happened to the cat?
I think that the cat should go through first.
To go through. Okay. Which portion? The door? Oh, you're crazy.
Ah. You just figured it out. Okay.
Like, sorry. Winter,
No.
what would that be? Just
to
walking
open
in?
the door, a very low
No.
athletics DC.
That's Petrovich is at the door right now. So he's gonna. What he's gonna do? He's gonna kind of lean to listen, see if he can hear anything through the door.
As you listen in, roll a perception check.
Where much?
You hear footsteps, but that's all. And yes, you would have. So you are free to move if you wish.
Can you check your DM really quick?
Sorry?
I'll.
Can you check your DM really quick?
My DM or...
On Discord.
Oh, sure. 1 second, sorry. I'm just trying to open it. 1 moment.
What do you hear, Petrovich?
Okay.
Well, I know
I have a
something's in
feeling
there.
there'll be.
Oh, right, okay, Mia.
I have a plan.
Okay. Mia's going to be away for a mo. If you can, just let me know if you are coming back or not, but not a problem.
I also sent you a DM as well, but you can look at that.
Okay.
I have not sent you a DM because I can call to you through the wall.
Yeah, you live with them.
Okay.
I sent you a DM!
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say to Noble, yes, and you are free to move if you wish.
Okay.
So yeah, so Petrovich, from listening through the door, you hear footsteps walking around.
I'm going to lean forward and open the door.
Oh. I mean, I was gonna kick it, but okay.
So as Garadrin opens the door, Levi, would you like to describe what they see?
I am very heavily hyperventilating. I could hear them walk down the stairs. I didn't know what was coming after me, but I am bent over, kind of plunging forward a dagger, just kind of towards anything that may walk through that door. I'm very shakily holding it in front of me.
Dwarves instill pure fear.
I mean, the first two things he sees is a giant hulking mass of pointy metal armor, and an angry dwarf covered in probably death iconography.
He sees a bushy beard from the darkness, and his first thought is lycanthrope.
How can you confuse my long and lustrous beard with that of a werewolf's tail? Actually, just to clarify, I don't wear lots of death iconography. My god is Dumathoin, which is the dwarf god of the hidden secrets of the mountain and of the death realm. So I actually have lots of mountain symbols all over me, rather than just because it's the dwarven death god, he doesn't have a skull iconography or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I am covered in death iconography, though.
Yeah, you are.
Either way, concerning things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wee scared man in here. Hello.
Oh, alright, this is... I believe the gods are playing some sort of sick game with us at this point. There are people coming, there are people going at all times. Should I even bother learning names? Is this something I should be worried about?
Who are you? Please stay back. I didn't mean no disrespect. I will go. I will just simply go.
Calm down. We're just glad that you're not an undead beastie.
I assure you, I am not undead. I can leave.
I want to show him. My pendant. Do you know what this symbol is, lad?
Can you describe what it is?
No,
It's a mountain inlaid with an emerald, which is set into the mountain symbol.
Okay.
No, please, I don't know nothing of the pendant. Please,
It means that I'm a representative of Dumathoin, god and keeper of secrets under the mountain. It means that he is a benevolent deity, and, quite a nice chap, really, so I don't think you have to worry about anything. Just as long as you're not going to point that dagger at us anymore, put it away.
please stay back. I don't know who you are. Just please.
I know you're scared of the one that looks like a giant. You're not helping things, Valentine. You're really not standing like that.
So as you sort of motion Petrovich to move back, he moves to the side, and then suddenly sort of Winter pokes her head round to see what's going on. So as Winter sort of pokes her head round, do you want to sort of describe as well what this person sees? Oh, sorry, Winter's not there. So you would see a very dusty white tabaxi. You can definitely tell female with musical instruments.
Oh, I can. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure if you were there or not. Okay.
No, I'm sorry about that. If you guys can hear me well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you would see is I would say a dusty white, closely to like a cleaner white, but considering the home they're in right now, very dusty. White tabaxi with blue eyes. Blue is let's say blue as ice. And she's tall. She's wearing pretty necessarily neat clothing, although again dusty. She looks a little worn, worse for wear.
Mm-hmm.
She looks a little tired, a little aggravated, but after a nap, she feels pretty good about herself. So she looks in, and she sees you, and she's like, "Oh, another one, another. Garrett, there's another."
I know there's another.
Should we shoo him away before he dies? We don't want him to die.
No, but you probably should, sir.
What do you mean? There's more here?
There was, but it's best that you stay close with us because for some reason some have disappeared, some haven't. There's something going on in this house that's not natural. I walk forward. I slowly take out my sword, but I hold it in a way where it's not even pointing at him. It's not even in his direction. I just kind of hold it up and I show it's silvered, and I say, "I'm a monster hunter. I'm here to pretty much stop what's going on in this house. We were pulled into this. I assume you were in one place and then you blinked or fell asleep and then you woke up in a different place altogether."
Did you see two creepy children?
Yes, I did. Were you the one to give me the note?
No, I got a note too when I showed Pete take my note tonight.
I believe everybody here's mentioned that they got a note. Well, I'm the only one to have shared mine.
Levi, I would like to let you know that Low Life Squizzy has given you advantage on your next check.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
I am keeping an eye on them and when they will get you, so don't worry if you forget. Okay, so you are free to use insight as well to see if people are telling the truth, if you feel comfortable, I mean, you've seen them. You've seen a dwarf open the door with this mighty, spiky guy in a dusty white tabaxi, and they've seen you. So if you want to roll insight to see whether they're telling the truth, if they're going to try and murder you, like, you're more than welcome.
My silver sword should be proof enough.
I think so.
I can roll a very not great insight. I will try.
If you do, that would be with advantage. So do it one more
I get
time.
to roll again.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So with a 17, you can definitely sense that there's no ill feelings from them that you're getting. They all seem to be confused and frustrated and tired, but and they look a bit beaten up and quite dusty as well. And considering you've been looking around, at least mainly this particular room, you notice that this ground floor so far doesn't seem to be dusty. It just seems to be old and a bit beaten up. So when you see Winter's coat, you're wondering why is there dust and cobwebs on her? I don't understand. Why are they got like You notice that with Winter there's a wound as well. Winter, did you decide where your wound is? Your festering wound.
I'm sorry.
Did you decide in what part of your body?
No, she got healed. She got laid on. Back.
Oh,
healed.
Yeah.
Of course, my apologies.
Petrovich pretty much fixed our injuries.
Perfect. Okay. All right, that's fine. So you wouldn't have noticed that anyway. All right. So yeah, you don't notice anything. Nothing evil or sinister about this group that have suddenly walked into you while you've been looking around this room. While you've been looking around this room, you've noticed that there is I need to double check, but there's a couple of crossbows and some bolts. That's what you were picking up, and that's what the noise was. Those were, I need to check the treasure list.
Oh, can I take one?
Let me just tell you what it is, and then So, on the table there is a heavy crossbow with 20 bolts, as well as a hand crossbow with 20 bolts.
Oh, we're gonna go towards the crossbow. Oh, this like a beauty. I don't think I can use heavy crossbows though. It does look beautiful, but I can't use one. Simple weapons. Can I use crossbows? I'm a cleric.
I believe a light crossbow is a weapon, but I'm not sure about heavy crossbow.
Yeah. How about the hand crossbow? Is that a simple weapon?
I actually have no idea.
Okay. While you've been picking that up from for mainly the room that Petrovich, Winter, and Garrett are in. You hear a warning shot fly by you. Coming, you notice that it came from the east, coming from the sound originally where you heard some clattering as well.
Is this going to be a situation where the dwarf turns around to find an arrow in his face? I can't use any of these things.
I believe you're in the room, so it's more so it's hitting past me and Petrovich.
Okay, sorry.
No, Garrett, you're not. Garadrin, you're not in the room. You're in the room with Dr. Von Mar, who has not shared his name yet, technically.
Well, I'm going to take these crossbows, even if I can't use them.
Okay.
But
yes.
Yeah,
keep in mind of your weight, though.
Please help yourself. I'm just simply trying to make my way out of here.
Oh, you're very kind. Packing over the crossbows.
I am in no need of such a thing. Please go ahead.
Oh, you could sell these for a pretty penny.
I am in no need of money. I would like to leave.
Well, look, you should come with us, because we're trying to get out ourselves after we deal with what's in the basement. Do you have any talents at all? Anything that you could use to protect yourself? I see you had wee dagger, but that's not going to help you too much, either.
Who goes there?
Seems like something's happening outside. You stay here and stay safe.
I kind of slowly into the room. My sword, is in both of my hands, and I look towards, Scandrick. Is that how you say it? Scandrick?
Yep, that's it.
And by the way, because of that firing shot, your stealth would be broken, by the way.
Oh, yes. I like I said, it was a warning shot. I didn't know what was coming, so.
So can you describe... well, no, wait. You see that it's Scandrick, and you remember Scandrick, because Scandrick was with you when you were fighting the dire wolves, when you were out in the forest, before the fog had taken you, and you had... you realised that here, Scandrick was not with you when the fog brought you to the row house.
So Scandrick would remember Garrett as well.
Everyone.
I would.
Everyone but Garadrin and Dr. Von Mar.
And Winter.
Faces. And Winter, yes.
So I slowly lower my sword.
As I slowly lower my bow, I look towards Garrett and I say, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm a little jumpy. I don't know how I got here.
No, this house is a hellhole. Your reaction was perfectly warranted.
Good. What happened to you? You look a little worse for the wear right now.
There's, I'll be completely bluntly honest, there's monsters in this house that we're not entirely prepared or outfitted to deal with, but we have no real choice but to try and deal with them. So...
that would explain the frightened children out front.
Yes.
And
there's a weird... This house is pretty much a cultist base, and what's happened is the cult's not left.
I see.
There's an entire catacomb system in the basement, and, well, we went down there and we got into a scrap, and, well, we weren't particularly well prepared for it.
We're gonna go down again and really crump them this time, though.
Yes, now that we're all rested up and I've honed myself a little bit better, and a few other healers seems to have improved as well. We are going to return back to the depths as soon as we, I guess, gather our now quite sizable force and go and try and kill a cult. I guess that's pretty much the basic thing. The kids asked us for help. I don't know if they're real or not at this point, or if they're trapped or something, but at this point, I'm invested and I want these things dead.
I'm going to turn to Levy and just say, hey, what's your name? Sorry, after what you just said. After what you said.
Are you asking me, or... Yep, sorry. I'm Scandrick. I met up with Garrett and them earlier, but, I got separated from the group somehow, and, I don't know how I arrived at this house. I'm just glad to see some other people I've met before. What is your name?
My name is Garrett. Is this man with you? And he points at Levy's character.
Who is that man?
Levi, sorry.
No, who is he? Is he with you?
Is he with you? Wait, is he with you?
I'm ready my bow again from all the excitement. Wait a minute, who's who?
Garrett.
This is Scandrick. I don't know him. What's your name?
What is my name?
Yes,
Know your name, or should I give you your name?
You're asking my name, and there's a man with a bow pointed at you.
I know, but he's not shooting at me, which is different.
He's with the bow. Man with the bow is with me.
I'm gonna slowly loosen the string, but I'm still gonna have the arrow notched.
I'm standing by you.
It's Dr. Mark. Can you get the man to drop the bow?
Or like a Scandrick, please.
Okay. I take the arrow out and resheath it as I slowly start to come towards the group here.
Okay. Petrovich is here as well. This is Elegance of Winter. You don't know her. She kind of appeared as well when we were transported. She's useful.
Winter, are you still here?
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Things happening. Okay.
No, that's okay. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to say, please just call me Winter, or whether you wanted to do that.
Okay, alright. Sorry, I'm here now. Okay. I really apologize, guys. This is a lot right now. Okay, what happened?
So basically, you have got two new faces from the west, you have got a man that's just introduced himself as Dr. Ma. You see that he's a half-elf. All right, Garrett. You also see another face. You see another half-elf, but in ranger clothing. And you've heard him introduce himself, or be spoken to, as Scandrick. Scandrick is at the moment casually pointing an arrow from his bow. And Dr. Von Mars
I received the arrow.
Oh, sorry, you received it. That's right. Yeah,
I did. I heard somebody say, "Please lower."
Yeah, and Scandrick has asked for your name, and you were introduced as Elegance of Winter. And that's where I asked if you wanted me or for you, because I know you've got things happening in the background, whether you wanted me to say, no, please, just call me Winter.
Oh, no, I'll do it. I can do it.
You're better.
Winter approaches Scandrick. She says, oh, let me find Scandrick's. Where's Scandrick's token at? I don't see
Scandrick
it.
is...
sorry, here, I'll move it a bit so you can see kind of where I'm...
Okay, that's my fault. I just couldn't see it originally. She approaches from this angle, I guess, and she says, my name is Elegance of Winter. Please call me Winter. She extends her paw, very like expecting you to take it.
I'll reach out and shake. I'm Scandrick. I apologize. I'm a little jumpy, as I was explaining to the rest of the group. I'm really not sure how I got here.
And neither am I.
Yeah.
Winter jokingly says, and she says, this house is quite mysterious, actually. I'm a little surprised that any of us found our way inside, and I'm even more surprised that we're trying to find our way out, if I'm being honest.
Understandable. Garrett kind of filled me in a little bit on what's been happening here. Have you guys found anything else useful we can use to try and take down the cult that we're up against?
All we know is that they served someone named Strahd. Well, at least that's what I can assume off of a note I found.
Yes.
Ah, you got a note as well.
Well, yes, but this is a different note. This is a note we found in the secret room on the second floor.
Ah, I see. Well, I feel just in case we should run into a certain individual, I should probably let you know about this note that I found in my back pocket here.
So remembering that your note was given to you by a messenger or some person that you passed before you met the group itself, this was given to you. But you when you were trying to find out who gave it to you, they weren't able to give you any information, and nor do you have the information on the note itself of who the sender is.
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure who meant to pass this message on, but it reads as... Oh, just specifically, not something I should share with the group?
No, it's up to you if you want to share it, but the message was for you, but when you tried to work out who sent the messenger to pass it on to you, you got no information, nor is it on the note. But it's up to you if you wish to share it, or keep it secret. That's up to you.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep the entire message to myself, but I'm going to just kind of casually ask the rest of the group, and I'm going to say, have any of you ever heard the name Ismark before?
I'm sorry?
What was the name?
Have any of you ever heard the name Ismark before?
No, have you heard of the name Aragol?
I have not.
My letter didn't even have a name.
Oh, you have a letter to... Oh, yes, you do have a letter, Garrett.
It just told me to look for somebody called Madam Eve, and that's all I can really blame for
I have
mine.
might I read mine aloud?
Go for it.
Now that we're discussing letters. This one's addressed to me specifically, in fact. It says, find the soldier of change, Aragol. He wishes to seek redemption, and will be of great benefit in bringing down great evils of Barovia. He can be found deep in the depths of darkness. From a friend that wants to ensure that the power of Barovia shifts to the hands of one that can see it thrive, there is still hope, as a sense still lingers within you too, from unknown sender.
Mine says to be friends with the dog.
The dog is with you, by the way.
It's kind of attached to Garrett.
Literally.
I'm stroking the puppy, not Garrett.
Well, yeah, okay, you do, yes. That is a good.
And just for flavour, can you show the token?
Sure, I'm gonna put the token down. I've decided his name is no longer Scruffy Mutt, it is Barnabas.
Okay, can you type that in so I can copy and paste?
Here you go.
Okay. Oh, little Barnabas. That's very pretty.
Barnabas, okay.
Yes.
Oh, what a interesting fella.
I know you don't like him, but it kind of fits into the stereotype of cats not liking dogs, to be completely honest.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, he's quite smelly.
Hello.
But to be completely honest, he survived better than any of us.
Which is amazing, considering... Can this dog perform CPR? I mean, medicine checks, I'm sorry.
No, this dog cannot.
Oh, sorry.
Little did we know it's a scientist transformed into a dog.
You would never know. I've seen crazier things. And you, Sam, is like...
There was a scientist turned into a sheep.
And you, Sam... sorry, go ahead.
I said he's not a direwolf, but he'll do. Just fine.
That's great to know. And when Tim looks at Dr. Von Mar, it says, and you, Mr. Other Half-Elf?
So you notice that he's in sorcerer's... Are you in sorcerer's sort of clothing? The colours?
No.
Okay.
Just in a coat.
Just in a coat? I quite like your coat.
Thank you. I don't know how that relates to our situation.
No, just making an observation.
So,
does he have like a nervous jitter about himself? Like, is he, I don't know, shaking maybe? Because this is a little scary.
He is very much shaking because he was introduced as literally holding a knife shaking.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure if he was still shaking. That's the point.
Does he have a condition?
Does he have a condition? Great.
Well, now that I'm much more at ease with the group, I'm also gonna just kind of hang my bow back on my back again and kind of try to figure out what we're gonna do from here.
Right point. Well, I'm gonna spend my time filming in Scandrick of everything that we've encountered. What was it? A Grick? Is that what we fought last?
yeah, you fought the Spectre, the nursemaid Spectre.
Then it was just we fought Gricks and then zombies.
Then you fought. I believe it was four ghouls in the basement, as well as one Grick, and a suit of armor on the third floor, as well as a broom as well.
Don't just say broom. It's the true boss of this house. It deserves the proper respect.
That was the true boss.
Are we in Fantasia? No.
I made that joke. I said Mickey Mouse was going to be the person leading this.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I feel you. And I said what we've. And then when after the battle had during the battle, before the battle, we noticed that there was chanting coming from the holes down there, but. Besides that, after we admittedly had some issues, I looked down at my hand, I look over at Petrovich and Winter, who should very much not be here, if not for some grace of God.
Might I ask?
Wait, what happened to them? Because
you were out first, weren't you?
Yeah, I was knocked out.
Petrovich and Winter both died. Died.
Yeah, we were dead for a little bit.
What? They died?
Yeah, don't ask too many questions.
But I have to. That's kind of my job.
I wasn't awake much longer to see how they came back, but I saw them both fall.
I owe favors to someone I should.
Not natural. That is not natural at all.
Says the brave cleric who deals with stuff.
I kind of deal with it, but that's kind of my job.
Winter. Can I ask a question to the Is the coldness from Winter? Can you feel the coldness, like? Or
not so much now. Since your long rest, you don't really feel any coldness other than the coldness of the house itself.
Okay, just making sure. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if it was a permanent thing or makes sense.
Oh god, that'd be awful, wouldn't it? Like constantly having cold feet put in the covers, you know? It's like.
Well, I think the best part about it is that when you approach Winter and she introduces herself as Winter, you'll get what you asked for. She's indeed cold.
I can't wait for Winter to spring a trap and fall, so I could say Winter, spring, fall.
Stop.
Yeah. But she gets like a bonus because she always lands on her feet.
No, she's a cat, huh?
Okay, so what I would like now, since you've now had the moment to introduce Scandrick returning to the group and our new adventurer, Dr. Von Mard, terrified, who also gets to have another advantage on their next check. It was actually classed as another advantage for the scared man, Dr. Von Mar, from user Nudbufton, which I know is Nick from our server. So next one you'll have another advantage on that. Okay, so what I'd like now is Garadrin. I would like you to roll a history check.
Yay! That's like my worst thing I could do possibly ever.
For shiggles.
For shits and confused.
9. You're lucky.
I could have got some advantages if someone had been a bit more liberal with who gets the advantages.
So, Garadrin.
Don't anger the chat, they can also give you disadvantages.
Yes, they can.
Forgot about that.
Same with monsters. So, Garadrin, you just suddenly realised that when you looked at that doll's house, you noticed some doors that were there, but you didn't notice when you guys were looking through this house. That doll's house on that third floor from the children's bedroom seemed to be very accurate, and so far from when you were in the dungeon, it seemed to be, perfectly accurate as well. You want to go back to the basement. You'll remember that on the third floor, which I'm going to ping now, so if you zoom out or something, you'll see the ping, that here there's actually 2 doors that lead up. That lead down to the basement.
Can you ping again? Because I just missed it. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. You'll remember that the door one of the doors is actually in the nursemaid's suite, behind the mirror that the nursemaid you saw was inside the mirror, mimicking your movements. The second door is on the opposite, on the side of the main staircase that goes from the ground floor up to the third.
Okay. So I'm going to tell that to the group because I would spend ages reiterating.
A secret door. Sorry.
Wait, you saw a secret door?
Yeah. Now that I remember, there's a secret door intended to be.
I'm getting real tired of this place keeping throwing new doors at us. This place has too many doors as it is, but...
Have we eaten since we've been here?
What are we gonna eat?
Well, I'm just asking, have we eaten since we've been here?
Well, I was just in the dining room. I suppose we could try and check in there.
I look at all the cobwebs around the house and just like the dust, and I say, "Do you really think the food here is gonna be?"
Well, remember what was on the table down.
No. I was thinking of something a little bit more lively as she looks at the dog.
You leave Puppy alone, Tabby.
While they're discussing where they're gonna get food, Petrovich has taken his armor off.
Take it all your armor off.
Think for the host, Kai.
Just the helmet.
Okay.
I'll take. I have a ration too. I think I have 8 left because I have 9 because I gave 1 to Barnabas, but I'll give another 1 to Barnabas and 1 to myself as well.
Okay.
But
I'll give 1
ration,
mine
then I'm down to 9.
anyone else who needs.
So
I need a ration, is what Elegance would say. Winter. She'd be like,
I'll give you.
Thank you.
so we're all eating lamb spread.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm eating dwarf bread.
It's funny.
So, yeah.
And a dog as well.
I don't mean to be pushy, but I feel that we should. I don't feel comfortable staying here, knowing that those beasties are rounding around downstairs.
Well,
we should probably be taking care of them.
We have to. I'm gonna be completely blunt with everybody here. This is my assessment as somebody who spent a few years monster hunting. We got our asses handed to us rightly. I need, and I regret saying this with the utmost, enthusiasm, because I would never want to leave a job undone. Do we believe we are currently capable of clearing out this?
Do we believe we can leave the house?
I am currently capable of seeking revenge, yes.
I want to smash things.
I want to burn this house to the ground, honestly.
Well, I would love to do that as well, but we need to think of our very apparent mortality.
Then perhaps, oh gosh, knowing that what she knows from Garriden's relay of the dollhouse, she says, is it possible that we can perhaps cut that base area in half?
Yeah,
instead of searching the whole thing? Yes.
So,
and you know what me and the cat are agreeing, this is a crazy thing happening.
I don't know what's going on right now. I think it might have been the ration, honestly. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Alright, okay. Alright, if... Go ahead. Yeah.
No, my character is just in bewilderment. My jaws drop. I don't know what you're talking.
Just keep your head low.
There's cultists and a dollhouse and things in the basement. I don't know.
Do you look visibly confused, Levy?
Levi.
I am very confused why you cannot pronounce my name.
Levi, I'm sorry.
Levi Strauss? Or
I guess
Levi from Attack on Titan?
I'll call you Von Mar because that's your character's name. But does Von Mar look visibly confused?
Yes.
Alright.
You're coming with us.
I look at him and I say, alright, I guess you need to be filled in as well. So, as you said, you were lured here by two children who were talking about a monster in the basement. You came in, which you looked scared to do, so I'm going to give you props for your bravery. But when we investigated this house, because we've been in here for a few days, we found out that this is a sort of front for a cultist, or some sort of demonic worshipping cult that seemed to answer to somebody called Strahd. It had count in the note, right? I think you made that note available to me.
In the letter in the master's study, in the secret room, yes, it did finish off with from Strahd.
I got a question. I got a request. I still have that note. Can you make that visible for me?
Of course. Would you like me to make it visible for everyone?
I mean, sure. It's not like I wouldn't show it if they asked.
Okay, 1 second. I just need to go.
But yeah. But apparently they worship somebody called Von Strahd. I don't know who that is. I've never heard the name myself, but we dealt with. This house is completely trashed by the supernatural. There was brooms that came alive, haunted armor, wraiths that we killed. We put the wraith down. There was, but then the wraith turned out to be the nursemaid of those two children. The two children here were starved to death by their parents, who didn't like them, or their mother. Yeah, their mother starved them because they were, in fact, kids from infidelity. So those were the two kids that kind of drew you in here. We did our best to put them to rest, and then we went down to the cellar because that's where they said the monsters were. So we went down to the cellar and we investigated, and there we were ambushed by a pack of ghouls and a grick, which rightly handed us our asses. But we were able to kill them. But before we fled, because we needed to regroup and rejuvenate ourselves, we noted that there was the sound of chanting in the tunnels, which makes us believe that the cult is still active here.
Oh, by the way, does the letter show up now on your screen? Perfect, thank you.
I've got, Well, I can see it, but I don't know if I close it. Let me close it and then open the letter thing again. Yeah, it's good. Thank you.
No problem.
So I just explain. So Garrett stops talking after that because he's pretty much explained the entire situation.
I don't understand.
Can I insight, Dr. Von Mar?
Of course you can.
You say they weren't real. How do I know you were real?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I walk up and I say,
oops.
you could touch me, like my shoulder or something, if you want to test that I'm real. But as far as I know, everybody else here is real. I was transported here alongside Skandrick and Petrovich. Winter came here on her own accord, and Grandrin came here on their own accord as well. Garadrin was transported on his own as well. So, but what seems to be connecting us all is we've all received some mysterious letters before we were put in here, which means we were obviously taken here for some sort of purpose.
Then why are we here? I do not understand. I do not deserve to be punished. I'm a good man.
What were you doing before you came here?
What was I doing? I was doing my best to save the world.
Excuse me?
What?
You're a doctor. A doctor of what? What kind of doctor are you?
I'm more concerned about the save the world part.
I am simply a scientist. I was trying to better my research for whatever may ail.
A scientist.
Are you a man of medicine then?
Sure, just whatever I can do to help. I don't know why I'm here.
Then how about you follow us until you find your purpose?
Wait. Did you receive a letter like all of us?
Of course.
What does the letter say?
I will just hand him the letter.
I open it and
Okay, 1 second. I'll do that for you then.
I hand him my letter as a show of trust.
Okay, so this one I'm going to show to players. This is Dr. Von Mars, and then Kai's. I think what color is your? Yeah. So Garrett's. I'm just open it up and show to players. So that should be
Petrovich will share his as well.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's alright.
You know what? I do feel like it would probably be best for all of us if we all shared our letters. I say as I kind of hand mine off as well.
Does the dog have one?
Because something doesn't make a bit of sense with my character. It's just because it says because last time I was because I was an artificer originally. I don't think that the cat section of my letter actually makes any sense.
Let me just double check.
Since I don't actually have that ability anymore.
I'll refresh my page to see.
I only got many, but no, it should appear when she's made it available to see.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. I mean, to be honest, it might be easier on the DM if we just all read out our notes. It makes sense for our characters.
Yeah,
it's nicer as well to do it in flavour. So whoever would like to go first.
So I will. I guess Von Mars should go first because he.
Yeah, the conversation was shifted towards him.
And then I'll go, and then Petrovich because he said he wanted to go. Then Sandrick. And then Winter,
yeah. Then I'll go.
Okay. Garadrin, yours is updated, by the way.
Thank you.
And then Garadin, I guess. So Vonmar, me, Skandrick, so Vonmar, me, Petrovich, Skandrick, Winter, Garadrin. There we go. So read away.
Do you want me to read word for word, or do you want me to skim?
It's up to you.
Whatever your character would do.
Yeah. How would your character read it?
The letter, it mentions the children to simply look out for them, and something strange going on in the house, a truth we must discover, and it says that if we can do this, the fog will be lifted. But I can't seem to understand the last bit of the note. It says that from one that will help from the shadows, if you do well, I shall make you known, or I shall make myself known to you. I may even have new knowledge to share that could help you. What does that mean?
Obviously, someone's not willing to reveal themselves yet. I'm the same. Listen to mine. He, dusts off his note a little bit and he says, mine is addressed to Garrett of Volkia. Search for Madame Eve. She will bring you the answers to the fortune in which you seek. Keep your eye out for the stranger with a monkey. He is more than meets the eye and certainly not to be trusted. An ally you have not met. I will be in touch. The coin will be in abundance for your service. Unknown. Or sender unknown. I don't know who sent. Roll it back up and put it in
Garrett, I didn't know you were a man for money.
I'm a monster slayer. My trade is that's my trade.
So I can get you to do anything for money?
No.
Nice try.
The clothes stay on.
I didn't want them to be taken off at all. Now Petrovich, on the other hand,
He's already taken off his armor.
That's true. Yes.
But, alright, Petrovich, you're up next.
Just to help. Addressed to Vulture. Seek the Burgomaster and introduce him to Donovan. Their destinies are intertwined. This can greatly help lay to rest. Needed to help bring her to make her way back to her. I must be sure your actions are pure before I can be careful, for there are many eyes watching. There are some that will try to
Yeah,
stop
you're
you.
breaking up a little bit.
Sorry.
Up to yeah.
Alright. Is it okay if I just post it? Because I have a start crapping.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hang
I
on. Let me
understand
do
that.
it. Let me do it like this. There you go. That should come up now for you all.
Okay, yeah.
for whom all?
Yeah, I'll probably be kind of quiet just because weather here is
so
messing with me.
if I click on show to players, on your screen should now come up mysterious note vulture. If you click on that, it'll open.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not seeing it.
Oh, hang on. Let me just do it to all players. Hang on. Petrovich and all players. All right.
Yeah, I'll play. Well, he just posted it.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
See,
That's fine.
I thought you said okay. That's why I thought you said Burgermaster, and I was like, what?
The Burgermaster.
Burgermaster.
We're
Donovich?
the Hamburglar.
Just walk into like a room. He's cloaked. He pulls it back, and it's the guy from Good Burger. Welcome to Good Burger.
Can I take your order?
Welcome to Good Burger. Home of the Good Burger.
Oh my God, it's a good burger.
So seek the Burgomaster and introduce him to Donovich. Their destinies are intertwined. This can greatly help lay to rest what is needed to help bring her to make her own way back to her real hope. I must be sure your actions are pure before I come forward. Be careful, for there are many eyes watching you. There are some I will try to stop you in your pursuit of darker objectives from unknown sender. Wow, this person, unknown sender, they're real mysterious. They keep signing him as unknown sender.
Technically, it's not signed. It's not signed from unknown sender. It just means that you don't know who sent it.
Right.
That's just me as a mechanic, just to say it's not signed by anyone.
All right. Well, Skandrick, you're up next.
Ah, yes. Mine, I also don't know the sender. It just says that it's from a soldier from the future. Beware, do not trust Ismark. He wishes that who is close to him grave harm. I give this information in good faith. I can see you are new to these lands, which are already soaked in hopelessness. Perhaps you can bring it into a new dawn? I hope so.
Now, that's interesting that your letter would ring about hope and a soldier. Mine also does that. And
Yes,
Winter... Yeah.
Yes, and I think for the best of the group, we should definitely remember the name Ismark, and remember that he's not a friend.
And a man with a monkey, apparently.
Okay, who's next for reading?
Winter was in the process, I think.
Oh, okay. Winter says, it's interesting that you say a soldier and hope, for mine also mentions such. And she reads her note, and she says, find a soldier of change, Aragol. He wishes to seek redemption, and will be of great benefit in bringing down great evils of Barovia. He can be found deep in the depths of darkness. From a friend that wants to ensure that the power of Barovia shifts to the hands of one that can see it thrive. There is still hope, as a sense of still lingers within you too. Unknown sender, of course.
And,
I wonder if our letters are tied to one another.
sounds like it could be.
It very well could be.
They've surely kept tabs on all of us. There must be a reason we're all here.
Well, Garrison has the last letter, I believe. In
Yes, well, mine says, the dog and the tabaxi will be good companions for you and your friend, the cat. Also search for the lady who sees all. Look for the treasure. It is hidden in her camp. For one who knows of your controversial work, I can see us working together to make something. I too am looking for ways to make Barovia better. We shall meet soon, from an unknown sender.
I look towards Barnabas and Winter, and back to you, and I say, well, y'all seems to be coming together quite nicely.
Well, I don't know who the cat is. And I don't know, and they're mentioning treasure to a dwarf and instructions. That's just cruel, that is.
One moment.
Now you're telling me they want a cat, my tabaxi self, and this small creature?
Oh,
to
already. Look, he loves you.
Oh, dear. Okay, you know what? We're done here. Nice talk, everyone.
Well,
and Winter's like, shall we move on down to the basement or up to the upstairs? Because I did hear noise last night, and I would love to address it.
Okay.
but this is one thing that I keep hearing about the fog. We need to lift the fog. We need to do something to lift the fog. And without the fog, we can't leave.
Why don't we magically or physically lift it?
Well, it says we need to do something to break the curse. We need to do something to sort out the problem here in the house.
Well, let me ask this. Is there another bookshelf around here?
Everyone can roll a history check, please.
A history check?
Mm-hmm.
A history.
And Kai, Garrett, I know you've gone off for a sec, but yours would be with advantage because Nick gave you one as well. Advantage. Okay. So let's have a look. So 11, but then let's see. Dr. Von Mar 11, Winter 17, Garadrin 17, Petrovich 8, and when Garrett gets back, he would roll his with advantage. Thanks to Nick in chat. Okay, so far, I would say that Winter and Garadrin would remember the most in regards to... It's certainly based on which, I would definitely say that out of everyone so far, Winter and Garadrin would remember that the children who beckoned you inside said, to help defeat the monster, which they believed would also help get rid of the curse of the fog that's around the house. And as you remember, every time when you were outside waiting to decide to go inside to help the children, the fog was getting tighter around you, and the children were very worried for your safety. So as far as you remember, taking so I want you to roll history with advantage.
You mean Garrett?
Garrett, yes.
Garrett, yeah.
Yes, okay. Sure.
Yeah, same as Garrett as well. Garrett would remember that the children said, please, you have to defeat the monster that our parents trapped in the basement. It's the only way to break the fog, and the monster has to go. You know, and that's pretty much how it was when the children were speaking to you. You know, begging you to help them and defeat the monster to also get rid of the fog too.
Well, Winter relays that and says, "Oh yes, the children did speak about a monster we had to kill to hopefully lift the fog." Did the children tell you all that as well?
Yes, I remember. They mentioned that they seemed very scared about the fog closing in on me. And they had mentioned that in order to get out of there, in order to get rid of this fog, we had to defeat the monster that their parents trapped in the basement.
I remember investigating the fog a little bit before we got inside, and the fog is clearly sentient in a way. Not like it has a mind of its own, but it is being controlled by something.
That was
I think we should go down.
Oh, I forgot also that that history. Also, Dr. Von Mark could roll one more as well, because that's part of the advantage from Nick from chat.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, you also
nice.
you remember this as well. The exact same thing. The children, begged you to stop the monster. That would also hopefully in turn stop the fog. Okay.
So I think we have our mission now to go kill a monster.
Can I
All right,
now
little
move
man,
you?
you said you want to help people.
Alright,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
going
go.
to move you. Okay, so I'm taking it you want to actually just go to the 3rd floor rather than go all the way up to the attic. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you. You're now going to be on the 3rd floor. Okay? Ta-da! So you're on the 3rd floor. Let me just make sure that the stream map itself is on the right section. One moment, sorry. Oh, yeah, so I just need to move the stream map too. There we go. So that's where you guys are now. Okay, so I'll now remind Garadrin where it was. So it was here.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Do it again.
So you've got the door on this side, as well as on the other side, in the
And that leads
nursemaid
down to the
suite.
basement.
That leads down to the basement.
Alright. Follow me! Sorry, just very, very matter of fact.
As we follow Garadrin, I stare suspiciously at the broom closet.
Shall we wait so that shall we just wait and let Winter and Petrovich have a moment
Excuse me?
out of their system?
Excuse me?
Let's just keep going.
Winter blushes heavily.
It's just not Hogwarts, everyone. What's Hogwarts? I don't know. Let's just go.
So, which door are you wanting to go? The door on the side that you are already in, or the one that's behind the mirror that the nursemaid spirit's
the one
in?
behind the mirror, I think. Let's try the mirror one.
Okay.
So, I'm going to point Garrett at it and say, "Go on, Monster Hunter. This is your deal.
You want me to break the mirror? Is what
I
I
want you
was.
to open the mirror."
Oh. Alright. Alright, I will... In this room, right?
This room.
Alright, so... Oh, I remember this mirror. Yeah. So I walk up to the mirror,
You
and
see
you
the
said...
nursemaid. When you stand in front of the mirror, your reflection is gone, but the nursemaid is mimicking your movements.
Oh, wait, she's still there?
Oh, will you please open up for us, dear damsel? We wish to destroy the monster in the basement.
Her face is still terrified, as those that have seen this mirror before. As you say that, she bows and she moves aside. As she moves aside, your image returns, and you hear a clink as the hinges open, and suddenly this mirror on the wall opens up, and you notice that it's actually also a door.
I pull it back and make it, and I look to Petrovich, or I shout out to Petrovich, "Boy, Paladin, can you provide me with that light spell again?"
Yes, because you're going to need it, and I'm going to have to click on your token because.
Or I can light a torch, but.
It's up to you. I just need to.
Petrovitz is BRBs.
Okay. So
I'll light a torch then.
you'll light a torch.
Okay.
Let me just click on your token as well, which I think. I need to zoom in a little bit more. I think. Zoom in. And you are there. Lovely. So now you have a torch, so I can give you the emit light. One moment. So that would be 20.
Scandrick, can I just ask, what sort of beasties? I know rangers are normally, they keep the roads safe and the wilderness safe for us travellers. What sort of beasties is your normal prey?
Well, give me 1 second here.
Looking off into the distance.
I think it's safe to say, with me and Scandrick, nothing is going to escape us.
What I was gonna say, what I can say is don't typically deal with what you've been describing. It seems like you're dealing with a lot of ghouls and occults. I don't typically run into that very often.
Bandits and whatnot?
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with that. More forest creatures, the general things that would scare a normal town.
Well, I can teach you to track monsters.
How are you at tracking? I mean, can you see if anyone's been through this mirror first?
With would I roll a survival for that one?
I would say survival. I'm not sure because I would say normally when you're doing tracking outside, like in the wild, I would say that you would say survival. But I would say you're more in the suburban area. So I'm actually going to go with. No, I'll keep it simple. We'll say survival. Yeah, we'll keep it the same.
I just want to know if we're going into anything dangerous that someone might have already set up before.
No.
Okay.
Is that your
it looks
survival?
100% safe. Yeah, that was my survival roll.
Oh, because it didn't show. Oh, I think you typed it or something. Okay.
Wait.
Right.
If you want to check if people have been through the mare, would that be survival? Because survival's like tracking in the mud.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I'm trying to figure out what I would be rolling.
I think wouldn't that be?
I could do
investigation
insight
instead?
if you wanted. Yeah, I could try and roll
it would be
insight.
I mean, I would say when you're outside and you're looking for monster tracks and stuff in the wild, I would say survival. And I was trying to make it simple by saying looking for that in specifically. Then I'd say to do the same to keep it simple. But if you would prefer, you are more than welcome to do investigation for suburban areas.
And do an investigation.
That would be investigation. Yeah.
Well, like the reason how I differentiate the two is investigations like when you're doing like CSI stuff, like fingerprints on the wall and dust being unmoved, and then survival is looking for
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, more for actual tracking. Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
can
fine.
I can do an investigation if you want.
Yeah, you can do
let's see what
investigation.
happens.
Yeah,
Can I assist?
of course you can.
Please do.
I'm assisting.
To your advantage, Jen.
Yeah, so you get to roll again.
Are you rolling again?
Oh, I did.
Because I
No,
see a
you get to
13,
roll.
and I'm
Yeah,
looking for one
13.
more roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Advantage. So you get to roll one more.
Yeah.
Time.
Pejovic? Just one more investigation roll.
For
Sorry, Scandrick.
Yeah, yes, you got.
Oh,
I'm
for me.
assisting you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm assisting you, so you get to roll. Well, you get to roll with advantage. So.
All right, there. Whoops, sorry, got space there. 1, 2, 13.
Okay, 13. You do see track marks. You see different footprints. Actually, a fair few footprints, but they are heavily dusty. So it looks like it hasn't been used for many a year.
It doesn't look like anybody's been through here recently. From
Okay. Well, shall we decide how we're going to descend these stairs?
I'm definitely not first this time.
Well, I mean, I'm the one who opened the door, so perhaps I should go down.
Or perhaps you should let Petrovich
I am
go? He's quite
hardest
bulky.
to hit.
Yes.
Winter, you and me, we're pretty good with the healing spells, but we're not so much for combat. So we'll go in the middle.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm a little better from distance. I'll try and hold kind of towards the backside.
And Dr. Von Maul.
I think me and Skandrix shall cover your behind.
I believe the doctor should probably be in the middle, actually.
I wouldn't. If
I'll
he's
take
comfortable in the middle, then I don't
second
mind.
to last position.
I'll just go behind Petrovich.
But I want to be behind
just-
Petrovich.
I'm just scooting back to give everybody a chance to get in there.
Wait for Petrovich, and I look at him and I say, "Look, I don't want to use this torch. Is it a possibility to provide me with that light spell again?"
Yeah. He's just gonna, again, kind of just grab ass.
Remind me on that torch spell. What's the light that it emits? Is it a standard 40 by 20?
I will...
If it's just as it's a standard, then that would be.
It's a 20-foot radius by 20... or 20 foot of bright and 20 feet of dim.
Perfect. Yeah, I've given that, so that's fine. That's what I gave on the torch as well. So yeah, that's standard. Okay, I'd like everyone, as you start to go down the stairs, I'd like everyone to roll an investigation check.
Sorry, is that the right order? Did we decide on?
Garrett, Petrovich, Winter, Dr. Van Mark, Gary Drain, and Scarab.
No,
I think
it's
I'm...
Petrovich, Garrett, Winter.
So it's just Petrovich
okay, so I got
in
it.
front of Garrett. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wonderful.
Okay, I'm not even gonna. No, I'm kidding.
I am just failing at this right now.
Okay, so this I need to bring up. I'm not going to change the size. It looks massive. I apologise, but when I do it to its true size, it's just too small for me to move. So, so there is Dr. Van Maar. As you're walking down the stairs, you hear a crumple underneath your feet. All right, that crumple, I'm now going to show you, is an old tattered note. Okay, and the note reads. Once I get to the section, there we go. The note itself reads. Oh, why is it not showing now? Okay, sorry. I have it in a handout as well. This one. Nope, that's Strahd's. Where's my other note? Ah, there we go. Okay, the note says. Oh, someone's catching the music. Okay, 2. But you see that the name section is ripped. So 2, unsure. If you don't get rid of her, I will. I want her dead, 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 dead. I won't have her under this roof after what she did, after what they made. I'm glad the little runt died. I hope our children have the same fate. In fact, lock them up in their room. Signed, Elizabeth.
What a very healthy family.
I know. I realize I don't come off as warm and cuddly, but that's pretty harsh. Even for me.
I'm sorry. Did you read it aloud, or were you reading it to yourself? Or?
I guess I'll read it out loud.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I really want to meet this Elizabeth now.
She's a super stellar chick.
Yeah. I've got a few things to say to her.
Garrett kind of says, in my years of hunting monsters, I found that sometimes man can be the worst of them.
You don't say. You human are.
Yeah, pretty bad, I have to admit.
So I'm just going to show this to players. Hopefully it does show.
Okay.
Does it show?
Nope.
Nope.
That's so
no.
weird. What's the point of saying show to players if it doesn't show to players?
Oh wait, my turn. No, it should show up in our journals.
No, it should pop up on your screen. Let me try this
Oh, okay.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, this one worked.
Oh,
This
there
worked.
it is.
Okay,
Got
so
it.
there you go.
Did she write this as a poem, or did she write this intentionally as...
It looks like a letter. It looks
Do you
like
know-
a letter.
Do you not see it's clearly a haiku? The highest order.
If you don't get rid, no, it's already broken. Okay. Alright.
I also want to say that for everyone, you have found the doll's house. You have found out about the nursemaid from the study note. You have also found the crib with the sort of the ghost formed baby with the black shroud that when you touch it just turns back into a normal shroud. And now you have found this note. This is a milestone, so you level up.
Yay!
Oh, at this moment?
At this very moment, you level up.
Well, you guys are very welcome.
No, everyone.
So what happens with the experience that we currently have then?
You
Does
keep
that- if
it.
we-
No, you keep
But-
it.
but that might be
You
a
just
level 2
you just type in that your new level, but that XP remains the same.
Okay, but that just means that the only reason I asked the DM is because that means my experience level will be below what you have for level 1, even though level 2, even though I already level up to level 2.
You
what
just
I would
ignore the
be-
character answer, or you just remove the XP and just type it
Yeah.
or write it down.
I would just say at that point, to keep it easier, just add what the level EXP requirement would be for your level, and then just add what you've earned there, so you know when you level up through EXP or milestone.
Alright, so I'm a level 2, you guys are level 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I have
technically,
actually become a
Well, I'm
Scandrick,
a level 2 as well.
Scandrick, Dr. Von Mar, and Garadrin are now level 2. Petrovich, Garrett, and Elegance are now level 3.
Yes.
Okay,
So
let me
that's
just level up.
37 HP.
Should we take a break here so we can do
Yes,
this
so
real
you
quick?
can. Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
perfect time. So I'm really glad
Let's
that
do
this
that.
worked well.
Because now I'm like a straight witcher. Okay.
So, guys, we'll take a break. I'm gonna say 15 minutes, okay?
Sure.
15 minutes? Okay, when we come back, I will check the tapestry to see if there is anything new to share on the screen. I'll also do that as a screencast in Discord, so anyone that's not seeing the stream will still be able to see what is shown if there's something in the tapestry. If anyone wants to add something in the tapestry, let me just do the command. This is just for it to be shown on the stream itself. However, you are more than welcome to ask for a permit and share any of your arts and crafts, doesn't have to be RP related, in the chat, as well as in the tapestry in our server as well. Members, non-members, you're all good. So let me just do the tapestry. There we go. So that is the Google Drive link. Pop it on there with your Instagram handle, your URL link, and just a quick, what it is, and I can have that ready for when we get back. But okay, so 15 minutes. I'm going to the BRB stream in 3, 2, 1. 15 minutes.
Bye.
I now have 19